behind. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm like chapter 22, and the homework and this is due tomorrow or the following day, and to me all of a sudden my brain was just starting to like the waves were just starting to just they were not in me.
So did you graduate from college?
No. So that evening I went home and I made a decision.
Because of the Japanese guy?
No. Just because I knew in my mind I had already made a decision that I knew what I wanted to do.
And what did you want to do at that point?
I wanted to be a nightclub owner.
Okay.
I wanted to dominate in the entertainment industry.
Okay.
I felt that at that point I wanted to make money. I was already a promoter. I was making money already.
So you did all that, right?
Yeah. Well, you
did all that,
yeah.
right? Where your house? What were you living and where you driving and doing all that stuff, right?
So and actually when we had first met, I was already driving an $80,000 SUV. We actually wrapped it with Dub logos. The Dub magazine when you had already
started.
You had first started. I was 19 years old driving an $80,000 SUV fully loaded with 20-inch rims.
Mm-hmm.
The lifestyle I was already living.
Mm-hmm.
So for what I felt that school was giving to me at the time, it wasn't fulfilling to me. Mm-hmm. It wasn't my dream.
Do you regret that now?
No, I don't live with regrets.
Okay.
No,
You don't live with any regrets, or you don't live with that regret?
I don't live that regret specifically. I think it was the best thing that I've done. I'm not telling, hey, drop out of school. I think education is important.
Absolutely.
I think going where we're at today and where I'm at today, it's important to continue to push education to our community. Yeah. Because it helps them navigate. School helped me.
Okay.
It just wasn't. I didn't finish it. Does it still mess with my head? Yeah, because as we got into later on in life, and I'll share that story when I lost everything.
Let's just go right to there, right? So you're living the life, you're doing all this stuff.
Yeah.
Then what happens?
So after running multiple nightclubs,
making millions of dollars,
blowing it, making millions for others at the time.
Yeah.
In 2003, I got the opportunity to open up my own nightclub.
Mm-hmm.
My dream was always to build something high end. I always wanted to be top notch. I wanted it to be of quality.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, because we were in the nightlife scene, we started to see trends.
Yeah.
Bottle service wasn't really big in Northern California, but it was hitting in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
It was hitting in Los Angeles. So I wanted to be the first bottle service ultra lounge in the Bay Area. So we opened up the Vault Ultra Lounge. And July 29th of 2004 was the grand opening. That was really it pulled all of my experiences, it pulled all of my resources, it brought all of the people that I've worked with for so many years, and I put all my resources into that. I'm making now my dream come true. And we open up the vault and we start printing money.
So you're just making cash.
We're just I had put $1 million. We had borrowed $1 million from different people, different sources. And within 8 months, we paid back $1 million investment.
How the fuck do you borrow $1 million?
People believe.
We're like, hey, fucking come with me.
Hey, no.
Hey.
You just where there's a will, there's a way, and I think that the idea was well taken, and people were excited about it. The building was a unique building, and the experience. I mean, just.
So you're on the top of the world.
Yeah, man. Fuck.
You're fucking on top of the world.
Hey, we're yes.
And then what happens? What happens?
We have superstars coming in, like when the Black Eyed Peas were in town, they would come to the club all the time. We had Madonna when she was in town. YouTube, all the my favorite actually celebrity that would come in would be Jamie Foxx. That dude is fucking off the hook. Yeah. He would do his comedy shows, and then at the time he had came out with the song "Blame It on the Alcohol."
Yeah.
That was anytime he came in, it was just.
He's an amazing singer too.
He's an amazing person.
Yeah.
We got to have so many different celebrities. Had I had the phone and the technology that we have today, I probably I could say that we have pictures of all that, but we didn't have it back then. I mean, it was different.
Yeah, definitely. There was no pictures. Thank God.
Yeah, thank God. Yeah, right? No, exactly. But yeah, living the life. So at 25, I had
cars.
25, I had made my
girls.
first million. Yeah, everything, man. It's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Nightlife is like
big old house,
like a rock star. No, I lived in a loft, but it was a big loft. Again, 25 made my first million. 28, I'm multi-millionaire at that time. I'm thinking it's forever. I'm so crazy in my mind that I have a 350 gallon saltwater fish tank in my house with a baby black tip shark.
The fucking shark in there.
Yeah, with a shark in there.
Was he like, say hello to my little friend?
Yeah.
So you're like fucking Tony Montana, right?
Yeah. You know, living the lifestyle. Yeah, living the lifestyle. I mean, it just, again, the lifestyle was...
So what happens next?
So then what happens
Get
next
to the
is,
juicy part. I want to hear the fucking juicy part.
So success is coming at us. I mean, we're sold out in advance, 3 months in advance. We make back all our money within 8 months. We're paying all of our bills. And at the same time, I was doing real estate development during the day. Mm-hmm. So it was kind of like Bruce Wayne during the day and then Batman at night. Yeah. So Batman. That's the only one.
Watch out, ladies. Batman's in the building. You know what I'm saying?
So, hey, that's I mean, it's better than Clark Kent and then Superman.
Hey, whatever you want to call yourself.
I like that dark suit,
yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
The darkness.
Yeah, watch out. Watch out.
But yeah, no, it was I saw it in fourth quarter of 2006. You know, the economy, the real estate market was so hot. People that were doing mortgages.
Well, yeah, the dot-com boom at the same time. You had everything kind of going. Or was that already crashed?
No, the dot-com boom had already busted in 2000, but the real estate market was just blowing up. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, if you had a pulse and you could sign documents, you can get a loan. Yeah. So there was a lot of people that
had a pulse.
Hey, and if you could be laying on, but you had a pulse and could sign. No, and I saw that.
So that's how you got your first million.
No, not me. I was just doing real estate transactions, and what happened is that I saw that this was just like, man, there's no controls here. There's a lot of people that shouldn't be in the kind of loans and homes that they were in during that time.
Yeah.
And fourth quarter 2006, I saw a shift happen. That year, we had broken all kinds of records, my team. In that year, we had done 365 transactions in 1 year.
Wow.
We were closing a deal a day.
Yeah.
A day. So we were just, I mean, it was just bananas. That year alone, $9 million.
So so $9 million year. What happens next? Let's get to the juice. Come on. Let's get to the juice.
Buying dumb shit, you know, over leveraging ourselves. The cost of living, just to my cost of living, $15,000 to $20,000 a month. Mm-hmm. There was no need to have a Ferrari, the Mercedes, the truck, you can only drive one car. There was, I mean, the entourage. You know, Mauricio paid for the bill all the time. You know, the parties, the after parties. I mean, you know, it that's where it all went. You know, so living every from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday morning, first flight out to Vegas.
And that's why you're still single, right? Because his Rolodex is about that big. Yeah. From how many years of clubbing, right? So now you're dating their daughters, right?
No.
Is that what's happening?
No. You're going to get me in trouble, buddy. You're going to get me in trouble.
So let's get to the juicy part, right?
Yeah, no.
So the market crashes.
Yeah.
What happens to you?
So the market crashes. You know, I don't really see the 2007, fourth quarter of 2007, I saw that our numbers had dipped by about 20%. Wow. And 20% when you have your fixed expenses, let's say your fixed expenses and your income, and then when your income starts to drop, you're watching your numbers. I'm watching my numbers. Mm-hmm. And when it hit in 2008, March of 2008, I saw that when we were ready to start ramping up, our numbers were getting lower. They were getting dangerous.
Yeah.
So then when they got to about summertime, we were at like, oh shit, like we're break even,
yeah, like, or losing money,
and we started getting behind the 8 ball. Then I get a phone call from the IRS.
The great friends at the IRS.
Yeah,
right?
no. So IRS calls and they said, yeah, we're looking for Mr. Mejia from Station 81 Holdings LLC. Blah blah blah. I'm like, yeah, that's me. What's going on? He says, we'd like for you to come into our office. We have some questions. And I'm thinking like, well, fuck, there's nothing should be wrong. You know, no problem. I go to the office. I go to the IRS by myself. First mistake, right? Yeah. They put me in a small room. And
meaning he should have went with an attorney.
That's right.
Or an IRS or some accountant.
Yeah, or an accountant or someone.
Yeah.
And, I just didn't know any better. I was young, stupid, making a lot of money and, and felt invincible.
Well, you're the tough guy.
That's right. Yeah. No, I was. I'll share with you, pre-2008, was a fucking cocky, arrogant.
You think so?
No, I was.
You think so?
I was. I own
He
that.
thinks so.
I own it.
I still think you are, but
no, I'm a different.
You're different. You're different. He's a more mature cocky.
That's
that's a lot
different. I'm more confident. I'm confident. My confidence level's at a different...
so cocky's low, confidence is
I was just an asshole.
Yeah.
Today people may construe my business tactics or the way I communicate as being an asshole, but I'm not. I'm just more... I take business very seriously now.
Oh, that's good. And that's why you're at. So let's stop avoiding it. Let's go into it, right?
Yeah.
So you're there, you have the house, you have the cars, everything. Yeah. What happens?
I lost it all.
You lost it all.
Oh.
So you come home and they're like trailing your cars out.
Yeah.
Like, tell me the stories.
Yeah. So,
you know what I'm saying? What happened to the shark?
I'll tell you.
Did you fucking donate it to Marineland or something?
No, so my buddy...
You sold it to some dope dealer down the street?
So the cost of owning a fish tank is not cheap, especially when it's a saltwater fish tank.
Yeah.
So the maintenance on it, at that point, 2008, we had filed for bankruptcy for the company because again, the income got below the threshold. You were bankrupt. Yeah. And at that point, we couldn't play catch up. IRS was coming after us, not because we didn't pay taxes, but because the tax withholdings for employees weren't being paid on time. So when they're not being paid on time...
And that's why they called you to come in.
Right, because I was the president and the managing member.
So you're responsible.
So I've learned, now you mitigate that, when you do partnerships, you mitigate that amongst all the partners and you make them all responsible partners. Mm-hmm. So when the shit ever hits the fan, everybody has to...
Everybody goes down.
Everybody goes down. Yeah. Everybody. Because everyone should be responsible. Mm-hmm. When you're in a business partnership, it's like a marriage. Yeah. Everyone in that team... well, I've never been married, so I wouldn't know. But I'm using others' examples, right? But it's a partnership, and it's a long-term partnership and commitment. So IRS, State Board of Equalization, and then the last one was my landlord. My landlord calls me one night, and it's all in the same week too, by the way. Mm-hmm. Landlord says, "Hey," I go, he's blowing me up. It's like 8:30 in the morning. I went out the night before. I had a crazy hangover. I'm like, why is he calling me? I'm like, the building better be on fire right now for him to be calling me this, like, after multiple times. Mm-hmm. So I pick it up. I say, "Hey, Walt, what's going on?" He goes, "You tell me what's going on." I was like, "Whoa, what do you mean?" He goes, "You tell me." He goes, "I haven't gotten full rent in the last 6 months." I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I was not handling the books. My responsibility in our company was the marketing, branding, and making sure that we had a full house. My mistake was that I wasn't double checking and verifying that the income that was coming in was being put in the
earmarked
right place.
To the right places.
That's right. So with my, and I don't put any blame on my partnership. Mm-hmm. I take responsibility because I have to own it as well.
I mean, when we're young, we don't know. We don't know the difference. You know,
we don't know, and
we trust everybody, and we learn the hard way.
That's right. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to rob Peter to pay Paul when you start feeling the pinch. Mm. So pretty much what happened was certain things that they felt were not important weren't getting done because they thought they could buy more time. Yeah. Well, you can only go so far before you run out of that time, or like they say, you keep giving that rope until you hang yourself, and that's really what happened. For us, or for me, it just happened to be in 1 week the perfect storm of all the shit that just came at me.
Everything, your whole life.
Everything.
So think back right there. Like, what would you give the advice to a young guy that was going through that same thing? Like, well, what got you through it? Like, what did you need to hear? Kind of what happened?
Well, what happened? A lot got me to where I'm at today. But what got me through it is that I couldn't hold on to it anymore. Mm-hmm. I had no control anymore. I was in a complete tailspin. There was no way, even if I hit eject, there was nothing that was going to change what was already in motion.
So talk about the story where you said, I was at the house, they basically locked the doors, towing the cars away. Yeah. And then what did you do? Because that was really impactful of what you said, what you did at that point.
So when I saw the Ferrari get pulled up onto a flatbed, taken away, I saw my Humvee get same thing, towed away. I was left. I had a cargo van with dub rims on it, by the way. I I had my cargo van, and the fish tank had just gotten taken out. I had given the fish back to the company that I had bought the tank. I literally had told them, I said, I have no place to store this fish tank, and I have no place for the fish. So, and the guys took it back, obviously, because they can go resell them or do whatever. I said, hey, when I recover back and get on my feet, I'll get my fish tank back and all that. That never happened. That was a $25,000 fish tank. Never saw it.
Well, you got back on your feet. You just never felt like you needed a 300-gallon fish tank with a black tip shark in it anymore, right?
No. And then during all that of that stuff that's happening, that chaos, and I'm giving everything back, everything that I felt, I worked hard. This is my stuff. I deserve this. It was very painful because now I was detaching all this hard work, all this like pain that I did when I was growing up, and then making that decision from college or university to where I was at.
Did you regret it then?
No. No. I enjoyed the ride. It was a lot of success, but it was very painful when I had to give my keys back to my loft.
Okay, so you gave the keys back. Yes. Your Ferrari's here. What did you do to like put that behind you? You told me something.
Oh yeah.
What'd you do?
No. So and so what I did was I knew that I couldn't hold this anymore in myself, because I knew that if I held on to this pain and this suffering, self-inflicted, that I was going to get sick. I was going to either get sick. I had already gained so much weight. I was unhealthy. My breathing was just off. I mean, a lot of anxiety, a lot of just like, what the fuck is happening here? What I did was, in that moment, I closed my eyes and I imagined that my house just caught on fire.
So everything is burned up.
Everything burned to the ground in ashes, to ashes. And then at this point, the only thing I can do is rise from the ashes. And that was what I used as my first stepping stone now to say, all right, fucking, you thought you were a badass? You were so arrogant that you used to say, fuck, I could lose it all today and get it all back tomorrow.
So do you feel like that's a self-fulfilling prophecy?
Yes.
Some people feel like they could just do that over and over again, that they're inviting the universe to take it?
Yes, and it did. The universe came and punched me right in the fucking mouth for saying those kind of things, and it taught me a lesson.
We're like, hey, fuck you, universe.
Hey, yeah, hey, the world is yours. It's like, really? So no, the universe came and it brought balance.
Yeah. And
I remember again, I lost everything. Ashes in my mind. When I
that's significant, man. I love that story about you, just because in coaching and stuff, I tell people a lot. Take that negative, put it on a piece of paper, and then burn the paper. Right? You just got to kind of visualize it burning to like get rid of it.
Yeah.
So when you told me that story the first time I heard it, it was significant. I was like, wow, it was amazing that you visualized it just getting burned down to the crisp, and then being like,
well, what can you do?
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Run and try to put ashes back together?
Well, most people do, or they just, cry or complain, right? When negative things.
I cried.
Yeah, did you cry?
I cried.
Oh my God.
No, I cried. In my book, by the way, I'm writing a book. It's called Smoke and Mirrors. In the beginning chapter of my book, I remember when this was all happening to me. I literally fell to my knees one day in my shower, fell to my knees crying and talking to the universe, talking to God, and not asking why me, but what did I do? And God gave me the strength and the guidance to help me pull myself back together, because I was too much, and so much pain was around me. I mean, all the people that I thought were my friends, when I was looking to them, pivoting to try to see, hey, let me grasp, they were not there. The haters were loving it. Yeah. Oh, they were like, you can tell, you can feel the energy of the people that.
So how'd you deal with that?
I didn't pay attention to it. Yeah. I didn't pay attention to it because I knew in my mind and my heart and my soul that I was going to lift myself back up. When, where, how, I didn't know yet, but I knew that where I've come from and where I've been and in the past that I've traveled, one thing that I do know is that I learned a lot, and I got to put myself around a lot of great people, got a lot of great mentors, and I got to share a lot of different things with a lot of great people. So right now wasn't the time. Also, the world was upside down. The economy had just taken a shit. The stock market had crashed. The world was upside down.
So what was the next step?
So next step is for me is I pack all my shit And I start to scramble. I moved in with a friend temporarily. I was literally sleeping on the floor. Got to a point where I couldn't sleep on the floor anymore because my back was killing me. So
like when I slayed at your house and you had me sleep on a goddamn blow up bed. You know what I'm saying? In a luxury apartment, high rise in San Jose, and I go there and he has a goddamn blow up bed for me. I'm like, dude, goddamn blow up bed.
It was temporary. It's temporary. The room was in transition. I was trying to get the room prepared. You know, the bed wasn't a priority, but you
dude, it's a priority for me. I gotta sleep on that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Well, luckily we're friends and you didn't take it personal. But yeah, no, it's so
you're transitioning, yeah. And then what's your first job or what'd you do after that, right? Because you had all this stuff just crashed down. So it's like how'd you make money next, or you moved to LA?
Yeah. So well, there's a lot of other things that happen. So while all this is I'm dodging all these bullets.
Like literally, or just like figuratively?
No, just figuratively.
Okay, good. Because if not, I'm not gonna sit next to this.
Yeah, no, I'm dodging these bullets that are coming at me, and I realized I'm like, well, I need to make a decision, and I need to figure out a way to get out of this. Mm-hmm. So, but I had to let the dust kind of settle. Mm-hmm. We're dealing in bankruptcy from 2008. I carried the bankruptcy for 2 years. And you know, I started trying to find other avenues. My mindset.
You're in a dark place.
I'm in a dark place. I'm a hot mess. You know, I'm realizing that now the party is over. Mm-hmm. And you know, when I used to do over 5,000 minutes a month, now I'm lucky if I did even 100 minutes. Mm-hmm. You know, because I wasn't important anymore, or mm-hmm. there was no more party. Mm-hmm. So once that realization sunk in. You know, that also caused some trauma for me, because when you feel like you're relevant, when you feel like you're, you know, like the rock star, yeah, it does something to you. You know, it makes you feel unstoppable, and it makes you it's a different energy. So when now you don't have any of that, it fucks with your head. Yeah, it fucks with your head, and then when you realize that the people that allegedly were there for you are no longer there, mm-hmm. That fucks with your head too.
Absolutely.
And so you got to rebuild. And it was a good friend of mine, Amy Escobar. You met her.
Yep, great person.
She was.
What's up, Amy? If you're watching.
Yeah, she better be watching.
Not right. Hey. That's between you and her.
So she you know, she was there for me. She definitely put her hand out and was there to give me some good advice and just really to be the good sounding board. And then I had, at the time, I thought I had dodged one of the bullets. I had partnered up with this guy that his name was Sal Flores. He was a local developer builder, and he was part of the nightlife scene at one point. Mm-hmm. And you know, again, my mindset, my business skills, my aggressiveness. Within a couple of months, 2009, December of 2009, I'm cutting a deal with Westfield Shopping Centers. They wanted to now, because they were now thinking outside the box as well of how can they start to attract more traffic, mm-hmm. because the economy's taking a dive. People are not shopping, so they got to get into creative mode as well. Mm-hmm. So in San Jose, there's Westfield Shopping Center, Valley Fair, which is one of the top malls in the United States. Mm-hmm. So we cut a deal with the vice president. I cut the deal with the vice president, mm-hmm. to open up 5 restaurant, bar, lounges in their top malls in California. We're looking at San Francisco, San Jose, Topanga, La Jolla, and I think Valencia was the other one. And right when I thought we were cutting this deal, the partner that I brought in goes behind my back and cuts the deal for himself, where I got pushed out. Wow. So I'm thinking like, fuck, all this, you know, I'm almost dodging a bullet. I think that I'm getting back on my feet. I'm like, you know, like, I'm just thinking I got skills, right? Oh, I just went through this little 6 month. But I think that what the universe was trying to teach me there is that you're not ready for this. I'm going to give you a little taste of it, but you're not ready. Mm. And all hell broke loose on that one. And that deal crumbled completely. And then at that point, on 2010, I decided that I needed to come back because I had nothing.
So you came back home with nothing.
Yeah.
Stayed at your sister's house.
I stayed at my sister's house. My sister had just bought a brand new house in Los Angeles. I had a room, literally a 10 by 10 room. They took me back almost to when I was growing up with my mom. We lived in a 10 by 10, or not a 10 by, but a very small apartment in Highland Park, cockroach infested. There was times where just we'd go to bed hungry. My mom worked late because she had to support us. So it took me to a point in my life that I had to really just say, all right, fuck, I got to start peeling these layers of like an onion.
Of this Batman shit.
Yeah.
This Batman shit
got the toxicity that I had brought upon myself over the many years of being in the nightlife industry. Again, nightlife, it looks great, it feels great, but it's a facade.
Yeah.
It's smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
It's what we do. We create that magic so that when you come out, you can't get away from reality.
Well, you got to create the hype, but you can't believe the hype.
That's
right. That's the tough thing.
That's right. So we create this illusion, and so I moved to my sister's house, and I'm in a 10 by 10 room, and for the first 15, 30 days, first 30 days, it's like I feel like my body's detoxing. Just detoxing, just kind of like I'm replaying the reels in my head, all the different scenarios, the good times, the bad times, the fucking crazy times, and I'm just really thinking, what is happening here? What is happening? I came from being the baddest nightclub owner in the Bay Area, competing against some of the other great nightclubs in San Francisco, dominating the scene for so many years, making millions. I mean, just thinking that it was forever.
You guys also had Detox Sundays, right? Which was
we had
pool parties way back.
Yeah, we launched right when the economy started taking a dive. Las Vegas started having problems too. During that time, believe it or not, Las Vegas was trying to recruit me. Dre's, the Wynn Hotels, the Harrah's Group, those guys were trying to recruit me. I mean, so many DJs had migrated from California to Las Vegas. These big hotel groups were recruiting me, flying me out to Vegas, interviewing me to try to see what can we do to stir up.
Did you regret not going and doing something like that?
Absolutely. No, I don't regret it. It wasn't for me. My mindset had already shifted. I went through a trauma. I lost my own club, and now to go to Vegas and go be an employee,
it'd be a wreck.
And not only that, but it just and even though I got to meet some great people, some great operators, Vegas wasn't for me.
Batman wasn't ready to conquer Vegas. Batman wasn't ready.
No, that one I definitely would have needed.
I could have been Robin.
You could have been. I would have needed a Robin for sure on that one, because Vegas, I love going to Vegas and having a good time.
It's a different animal.
But when you go to Vegas, I can only be there 2 days max, 3 days max, 3 days, because anytime after three days, you feel like you come back with a slime on your body, just like. Vegas is fun.
Well, I've never felt like that. No, so I don't know about the slime on your body.
Like just like like you need a shower and get this just off of you. Like
I don't know. I think that's by choice.
No, that's how I felt. I mean, we did it big when we went to Vegas.
I'm sure you did.
We got to enjoy and at the same time, that's how Detox Sundays came about. So during that economy crash, Rehab is the original pool party.
Day club,
Original in Vegas, because we were doing day parties long time
ago. But it was called the barbecue.
The barbecues.
Right? Barbecues, right?
Barbecues, yep. The Sunday barbecues. So all they did is repackage it and call it a day club, a day party, this and that. They made it sound cooler.
With some lounges and some beds. And,
some bottle service outside. Cool big pool in a cool hotel with some rock stars living the rock star life. So what we did, when I came back from one of my trips, I was like, how do we create that in the Bay Area? Being that we have some great weather, some great hotels.
So Detox started after your crash in the club scene, or that was
like parallel? Parallel, right at the same time. 2007, we launched Detox Sundays for the first time, and that thing was a fucking hit.
So let's go back. You're in a 10 by 10 room.
Yes.
Right? You're sitting there.
Yes.
The world is fucking over for you.
Oof.
What was your next step? Like, how'd you pull yourself out of that? That's a tough one.
So the first thing I did is I reached out to a couple mentors.
Did you put on your Batman mask?
Yeah. Walked around in my chonies and back and forth in circles. No, what I had to do, the first step that I did was I had to just quiet the noise. And I had a very good mentor, a friend of mine, Ryan Hubris. Ryan is an amazing friend. He's in Vietnam right now. He's I don't know if Mr. Lee's or Lee sandwiches are out here, but
yeah.
He was the vice president of expansion for Lee sandwiches.
Love Lee sandwiches.
Yeah. And also he dominated in the whole Chinese or in the Asian market with the crunch, Californian yogurt. I mean, this guy is an amazing human being, and he came to visit one time, and we were very good friends. We are still good friends. And he said to me, Mauricio, the first thing you need to do is quiet all the noise. What everyone is saying, everything that's going out there, don't pay attention to it. Mm-hmm. Just quiet. And once you quiet that noise in the background, you will find the clarity to allow you to make the decisions to go the next step.
Awesome.
So 30 days, 40 days, 3 months went by. That noise was, and not only that, but I'm going through withdrawals because I'm not in the scene, and it's hard for me because I was conditioned for so many years on what to do. Yeah. So for me, it was like, what do I do next? So while I'm living in LA, I'm trying to reach out to my people that I grew up with. I even reached out to you one time. I'm like, hey, Myles, what do you?
I'm like, Mauricio, is this you? Yeah. You lost everything? Okay, bye. Bye.
Oh, all right. Myles,
who's that guy?
Yeah.
Who's this guy?
I called,
Batman, is that you?
Yeah. I called my friend John Pena. Yeah. Hey, John, man, fuck, what are you doing? How are things? I mean, and John was so respectful to say that, Mauricio, I couldn't afford you, bro. He goes, and I just can't see. He goes, you'll get back on your feet, which was probably the best advice that he said to me because I didn't want anyone to feel sorry for me. I just wanted people to give me an opportunity to get back on my feet.
So how did you get back on your feet? What was the next step? I mean, from there, you're just like, in a nutshell, you just kind of eventually you went back to San Jose, obviously.
Yeah, so
right?
6 months of living and being in LA, I couldn't deal with it anymore because I wasn't rooted. I tried to reach out to as many people that I knew in LA, and was getting a lot of this is not Mauricio that we know. No. The Mauricio we know is successful, badass motherfucker, running shit, and they can hear it in your voice.
Yeah, you're broken.
I was yes.
You're broken.
I was beyond broken. Yeah. I was Myles. That's the best way. I was broken, and people heard it in my voice. Yeah. They sensed it when I visited them. They looked at me kind of like, fuck, this ain't the Mauricio that we know. The Mauricio we know from when he was a kid growing up in LA, junior high and high school, and to when he left us to go to the Bay Area. This dude was badass. Yeah. Somewhere along the line, someone or something said something to me that you need to like the movie Boiler Room. You need to pick up your skirt, grab your nuts, and go. Yeah. And that's what I did. I really had to pull myself together. Stop doing the pity party. Stop trying to feel sorry for myself. I'm not a victim. This was all shit that I self-inflicted into myself. Unfortunately, I was young. I didn't have certain mentorships or certain tools. Even though I was big into personal development, I'm a big Tony Robbins fan. I like listening to positive videos, positive things. Because I knew that I was in such a environment that it was all about gimme.
So let's go back. Yeah. So you move up there. Yeah. What happens next?
So I go back, and my who's my partner now, George Sanchez over at Chacho's.
So Chacho's a Mexican restaurant.
Yeah. So he's going through some issues with a partnership. That's collapsing for him. I see some opportunity with the space, the one that you actually.
And this was back then, right?
Yeah, 2012.
Yeah. Okay.
You actually saw the Chacho's. You had lunch at the Chacho's.
Yeah, the food's excellent. Yeah, it's good. Great environment.
I know that you weren't too happy with the rice, but we're
the rice was a little dry that day. But you know what? I'm fat, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I like everything mushy. You know what I'm saying? Mushy rice, mushy beans. Just put it all on there.
Is that all you like, mushy?
I like it. Yeah, I'm good like that.
So that restaurant there was an old gutted restaurant that was abandoned. It was an Indian restaurant.
So that restaurant that I went to, the Chacho's, that wasn't the same Chacho's. That was an abandoned building. Yeah, but that wasn't the original Chacho's.
No.
So Chacho's was somewhere else.
Oh yeah, Chacho's has.
Then you got involved.
Yeah, so Chacho's, there was no Chacho's at the time because the partnership had fallen apart.
Oh, so there was no restaurant around.
There was no restaurant for a small period of time.
So you resuscitated it.
I came in like that sucker was in cardiac arrest, and I came in. I said, boom. Luckily, George and I like brothers. He was actually the first person that when I moved to San Jose that actually gave me a helping hand. Mm-hmm. So I felt that I was indebted to him.
Well, you guys did it together. You guys are partners, right? The key word is partnership.
Partnership. Yes.
Collaboration is a very unnatural act, but a necessary one. There you go. So you collaborated with him. So launched Chachos.
Yeah, and that was probably my fastest close that I've ever had. We didn't have any money. We were both broken, and we're trying to figure this out. And a friend of ours, Art, introduced us to another gentleman who was big on finances and doing loans. We went to his office. He was in one of the high rises. Literally, I sat down kind of how we are, George, Mauricio, this gentleman across from us. Hey, my name is Mauricio. This is George. George is Chachos. And as soon as I'm Mauricio from the vault, he says, I know who you guys are. Excuse me. He goes, I know who you guys are. He goes, how much do you need? I haven't even met this guy for 10 minutes.
Yeah. You should have just asked for a lot of money.
So I in my mind, I'm like, well, we need 150,000. At the time, 150,000, that's a lot of money.
150,000 is still a lot of money.
When you don't have it, that's a lot of money, right?
It's still a lot of money, bro.
So we could have done it on 75 grand, but I asked for 150,000. And he says, no problem. He goes, can I give you half today and half in 2 days?
You're like, yeah.
Like, sure. So he pulls a check, and he's writing. I said, well, do you want me to, hold on, time out. I said, do you want, what's the agreement? He goes, we'll figure it out. I'm like, let's get this thing going. I said, okay, do you want me to call our attorney to get an LLC started? He's like, yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out when you come pick up the next check. I'm looking at this. I'm like, all right, shut up. Hey,
What's he like? Hey, come cut the next check tomorrow. Hey, is this the same guy?
Yeah.
That gave me the million?
Say hello to the bad guy, right?
Yeah.
So I
was like, oh, hold on. Let me give you the cash. Here.
Yeah.
Here's a briefcase.
Yeah.
Hey, take two. Take two briefcase.
So he gives us the check. As I'm walking out, I walk out with George. And we go down and I go, look, I can feel the eyes were on us in the building as we're walking in the parking lot. I said, don't look back. Don't celebrate. Fucking just shut up. We get in the car and it's like fucking
you guys are fucking
like two little fucking kids, woo, right? So
you're like Pauly D and fucking Jersey Shore, right?
So we're like, holy shit! Like in my mind, I'm thinking like, kicks back in.
Yeah.
Fuck, buddy. So see, you got it in you. So then the voices start talking again.
That's a win.
Boom.
That's a win.
It's a win.
Right?
Like you got it in you. Boom.
So built that out. Boom. Yeah. Got that going.
Boom. Blew it up. I decided that I wanted to go on to other ventures because at the time. It just wasn't. I felt that it wasn't growing as fast as I wanted to, and I felt that I had an opportunity and some momentum.
But now you have a second location you guys are building that's opening, right?
Yeah. So we have a second location. We're looking at 3 more locations.
Awesome.
Our Chachos in Midtown San Jose is going to be opening up Mexican Independence Day weekend. And then we're looking at, again, 3 other locations. And we want to be in cities like Oakland, San Francisco, Los Angeles. Right. We want to definitely get into other big cities.
So you're involved with that. You're involved with authority management, right? Yeah. And then you're involved with the labor force thing. I don't know what that is, but, I mean, it sounds exciting, right?
So California Labor Force came into my lap by accident. Not the name. I created the name and the brand. But the concept of putting skilled labor into fire restoration, fire disasters, water remediation.
So your new company, which is blowing up.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
In California.
Yes.
If there's a natural disaster, you guys are the ones that are actually sending the people to the disaster to help clean it up and remediate it. And, right?
So all the big fires that have happened in the last couple of years in California, once the fires have been contained and now they start to clean up the buildings, whatever is left of buildings. These big contracting firms go out and they start cleaning up the buildings and the locations, and then we send them the skilled labor, whether it's asbestos abatement, lead abatement, or the fire and water damage cleanups. We're the ones that are sending them in. We can ramp up to 1,000 employees.
How the fuck does a guy from East LA that's a nightclub promoter get into this labor force stuff? I mean, and you ran for what did you run for?
City council.
City council, and you lost, right?
And I lost.
How'd you lose?
It was the best experience.
How'd you lose, bro?
The best experience.
You weren't threatening people enough, or what? Like what happened?
So it was 2014. I ran for city council for city of San Jose, downtown San Jose. You actually saw the district.
Yeah.
It was something, again, passion. During the process of opening up the nightclub, I got to learn how to become a business politician. And I think that...
They hear that? Business politician.
Yeah, business politician. What I learned from being a business owner...
Was that like sitting on the bed nice now, or what?
Yeah, no. When you're running a business, you got to learn to play politics. You got. I don't want to even say play. You got to learn to be in politics. You need to insert yourself. In business, there's always going to be politics, and if you're working in a city, there's city politics, city ordinances, things that you need to educate yourself on, because when that heavy hammer comes down and you don't know how to navigate, that's how people lose. Yeah. So I ran for city council, got to meet some amazing people, some amazing developers, and I lost. And losing.
Why did you lose? I mean, you're the one of the most popular guys there. I mean, what is it? A lot of business experience. You're Latino. Or you claim to be Latino. I don't know.
I am Latino.
They don't like Batman? Is that it? Huh? They weren't fans of Batman?
I treated it like an event. When I ran for city council, my promotion
Of course you did. It was like all ages with
guerrilla marketing. I had mobile billboards. I threw a concert. I had Carlos Santana's son, Salvador Santana, do an event for me. I was trying to make it vibrant, right? Yeah. The candidates, I mean, and during some of the debates, I mean, I'm the one that took off the gloves and started shit. Like, it was I mean, even with some of the candidates, I was not afraid.
So do you regret that?
Regret what?
The whole tactics and starting shit and all that stuff?
No.
That's the only way you could have got elected?
It's not the only way. I wasn't groomed, and I still didn't have a lot of the skill sets. You need to have skill sets, and you need to know. That's a whole different realm of people, and you got Chamber of Commerce, you got the unions. I was running down the middle, the independent business owner with experience, and but people pegged me. I was a nightclub guy. Yeah. When I was walking streets, I walked.
It was Batman. Right?
Yeah. So
they didn't see you; they saw Batman.
Yeah, they saw this nightclub guy, and I even had the candidates
with the fucking Shark Tank and Black tip shark. That's what they remember you as, right?
That they remember whether it was that or just I just didn't have.
Were you wearing like cheetah? You know cheetah?
No. So now I lost, and that was probably the best experience, because you don't learn from your successes, you learn from your failures. Absolutely. So losing, to me, as painful as it was the best thing that happened. I had just launched 2 businesses. I had launched California Labor Force January 1st of 2014.
When you ran for city council, did any of the connections help that business? Because you're meeting so many people and all that stuff? Or no?
No, they don't even...
Dude, give me some juice, you know what I'm saying? You're keeping it quiet.
No, you know what? It was just one of those California Labor Force, it was like plug and play, man. It was a blessing.
It just came out of nowhere.
It came out of nowhere. There was a partner that we had that was been in the business for a very long time, and she had resources, she had connections, and we partnered up with her, and we turned a small idea into a mega idea. So now we have California Labor Force, we have United Labor Force, which is our nationwide brand that we're planning to launch in 2020 now, and then that same year, I launched Latin Life. I'm the co-founder of Latin Life,
which is online, right?
Online marketing. We do all the marketing for all the big Latin shows across the U.S. We're
Still do that.
Yeah. Niederlander, AEG, Live Nation, all the big Latin concert promoters. We do all their back end and online marketing.
That's awesome.
So that's one of we were talking about earlier. You have the wagon wheel, you have your center, and then you have your spokes. Yeah. And you have to have multiple spokes on this thing, because if one gets weak or one gets stronger, you focus your energy on the strength, not on the weak one. The weak one,
you just pluck it out, right?
Pluck it out and replace it, or keep going without it, as long as you keep balance.
Yeah, so it's like basically a wheel, and you have all the spokes. Each thing you're doing are different spokes.
That's right.
When one spoke breaks or get weak, you replace it. You don't really try to fix it. You just replace it with some of the other, better spokes that you have, right?
Yeah. And that's what I've done now. Is now I have 5 different companies. We have a California Labor Force. We have a construction development. We have a real estate development. We just got approved for the largest hemp campus in Northern California. Probably in California, it's going to be pegged as that, 400 acres. And we have authority management, which is doing a bunch of different events. And I'm focusing on the talking, going out and sharing.
So you're a motivational speaker, you're a business speaker, you're a great speaker.
I'm not going to say I'm a motivational speaker. What I'm doing is I'm sharing my story.
And if it motivates them, fuck them, right? Is that your attitude?
No. If it motivates them, then good for them.
No, your story is motivational.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And what I'm trying to share with others is that if I can do it, you can do it too.
Absolutely.
Because what happens is people, they fall into the rabbit hole and they don't see while they're looking up that there is light up there.
Well, it's tough when you're in the trees, right? We talked about that today.
Yeah.
When you're in the trees, you can't see past the trees, and sometimes you get confused and disorientated, you know?
Yeah.
So when you got to get up on the top and look down into the trees so you can kind of see what's going on, so you can navigate yourself. So
and that's really what it was. You know, it's easy to get into the jungles. It's hard getting out of the jungle.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's really what, you know, what it's been. It's this journey is, you know, I tell
Why's it got to be a jungle?
Yeah. You know, you talk
about...
Can
it be the trees, bro? Like, can it be the redwoods?
You talked about trees, and that just sounds so serene and quiet.
The trees,
fuck that. I want to get in the jungle
with some fucking monkeys.
Where there's like animals, and I got to machete my way out, you know, like a full swing. You know, just,
like fucking banana trees.
Yeah.
You know?
Coconuts, you know. I mean, it's just, that's life.
Yeah.
That, to me, the trees, that's cool, but it's not, to me, that's not real for me. I'm like, we got to go in all in war and stuff, you know? Yeah. So, but yeah, man, it just, so you diversify, you get involved in all these different things. And really what I've learned now, I always say there's post 2008 Mauricio, and then there's pre 2008 and there's post 2008.
Yeah.
I'm much happier today. I'm at more peace with myself. I shared with you earlier today, you know, we drove by some multi-million-dollar mansions today. Mm-hmm. You got to share some of your you know, your history, and I shared mine. And my desires are not to live in the big mansion or in the house. I don't mind living in a penthouse, though. Don't get me wrong, but I don't need to have the 10,000 square foot house. I don't need to have the luxury cars. I'm happy where I'm at.
Of course, because you're Batman, bro.
Yeah.
You have the Bat Cave, right?
Exactly.
You're good. You know what I'm saying? Send the light out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, so just for me, it's, I don't have those desires. I'm much happier now. I want to focus on my children. I want to focus on my future, my life. I want to focus on giving back to the community. And that's really where I get my satisfaction now.
Cool. Let's get on that. So getting back to the community, we just did a talk up there. Your talk, Authority Management, had Stedman Graham, which is Oprah's husband, you know, other half partner. And the announcement we're going to make is we're actually going to bring Stedman, myself, Mauricio, and some other people down to Los Angeles on what day and where?
November 1st. So we're doing Friday, November 1st. We're doing 3 events that same day. So it's going to be a very busy schedule. We're doing 500 students for the Gentlemen's Summit for Los Angeles Unified School District. We're targeting East Los Angeles schools under the LA Unified School District umbrella. 500 students, really, where we're teaching these young kids, you know, try to change their mindset. That's at 9 o'clock in the morning, and then from there, as soon as we're done, we're shooting over to the Intercontinental Hotel for the YMCA's annual luncheon. It's going to be 750 people there. And then in the evening, we're going to do similar to what we did in the Silicon Valley. We're going to have a very intimate moment or intimate evening with Stedman, yourself, and myself. We're going to be talking about, again, just business and having that conversation. And yeah, I'm excited about that.
Leadership, breakthrough,
yeah,
you know, anxiety, you know, just entrepreneurialism and business.
Yeah.
So if people want to go, so like to the first show, can they go and buy a ticket to any of the shows or?
So no. So the student is for the students for LA Unified School District. That's strictly for the students. So it's not an open to the public. For the YMCA, yes, you could buy tickets to the luncheon. We're going to be putting out that information. My understanding is this thing sells out very quick. So so
as soon as we get that information, we'll share it on our pages. So people, because people are going to be interested in that and supporting the YMCA.
Yeah, they're honoring Stedman Graham that day along with the Los Angeles Rams. You know, again, they're bringing in the whole leadership, the whole commitment to, you know, the excellence and just, you know, striving for better.
Oh, it's awesome. Isn't commitment to excellence Raiders?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I know.
This dude's not a Raider fan.
I'm not
Come
a
on.
Raider fan, man.
What are you, a San Francisco 49ers fan or what?
I was.
Dude.
I was until they did my boy, the coach, dirty, man. I've never forgiven the 49ers for that. And then when anyways, that's a whole different story.
So let's get back to the night. So the intimate evening, Stedman Graham leadership, we did it in San Jose, and it was just amazing. I mean, it was, you know, about 100 people.
Yeah.
And it was very intimate. He took pictures and met everybody there.
Yeah.
Sat in the audience.
Yeah.
And was just really, really great to work with.
Yeah, he had a lot of great things to say about you as well.
Thanks.
I got to have a
Did he talk to me? Did he talk to Oprah about me? Because you know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I'll ask him. Next. No, I'm just joking. I know that we had an amazing conversation after, and the man's an amazing human being.
Oh, awesome.
Amazing human being, amazing soul. And I'm looking forward to doing many more events. This is going to be the last one of 2019 for us in November. And then 2020, I've told you, Myles, that I want to work closely with you moving forward. I think that we have a great message and we have a great outlet and a great network, and we can definitely do some big things together. So
Stedman Graham, November 1st.
Yes.
November 1st, Intercontinental Hotel.
Yes.
Intimate evening
in the evening, where it's going to be probably a 6 to 9.
Yeah.
Like we're just following the same model that we're doing.
And then if people want to sponsor it, get behind it, buy tickets, where do they get information? Is that something we're going to be posting shortly?
We're going to put the save the date. In the save the date, we'll provide the information on how they can get involved, and we're going to.
So tune into our Facebooks, our Instagrams, all of our feeds. We'll be sending out more information. If you're interested in sponsoring it or getting a ticket, you could DM one of us and stuff, just so we can kind of keep a note on it. And we're gonna wrap it up. Live number 8. I guess 8 is your favorite number. So.
Yeah, 8 was my high school football number. Yeah. 8 is a lucky number for me. 8 is also a good luck number.
Absolutely. So what is it, like perpetual living? Or?
Yeah, it's the infinity.
Infinity.
It's so for me, when I saw 8, I was like, oh man, it's gonna be a good evening.
Well, cool. Mauricio, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Live number 8. We'll be back next probably week with live number 9.